Hi, I'm Angie Meadors, and I want to talk to you today about draw reins and why I use them and why I like to ride with them. A draw rein, I use these reins religiously on a lot of my horses. I use them on my colts, my futurity horses. I use them on rodeo horses to keep them tuned up and riding correctly. I feel like they're a big part of keeping my horses together and keeping them tuned. A draw rein, how it works is I like to attach my draw reins down to like the D-ring of my saddle. You can attach it here, you can attach it here, or you can attach it up to here. Most of the time I like to ride with it attached down here to the lower part, depending on the horse. You can also attach them underneath, down through their chest and underneath, but I feel like with it being on the sides, that gives my horse more movement side to side. So how the draw rein works is if you have a horse that is getting their head up, doesn't have the correct pole position for their head or the right headset, it helps to teach them never to get their head too high and their nose out too much. It helps just to bring everything back in. If you'll watch, when I apply pressure to this horse, you'll see where her head goes. I'm just gonna barely kind of put a little pressure on, but she brings her head down and her nose down, her pole down. When they pull against this and do what they're not supposed to do, it just helps bring everything back. And my theory is I ride this on a lot of horses. I'll ride them 3 or 4 times a week, and some horses I'll ride them every day just to exercise or tune or work them in. But I just think that if a horse never learns to get their head up and, you know, get away with that kind of stuff, it's just easier just to keep them in this and keep their head set correct at all times versus letting them get away with sticking their head in the air. And when you put pressure on a horse, their first reaction is to stick their head up in the air. Well, with this, their first reaction is going to be, oh, I've got to bring my head back down and this is correct. And then you want to let off of them when they get their head in their correct position. So basically, it's not really bothering them until they're in the wrong position, and then it just corrects them. So I do a lot of drills with these reins. You can see how I can move my horses around with them. I'm not gonna lie, the first time I did ride with these reins, I had them wrapped around my ponytail. So it is something that you have to get used to. I was so mad when I was first introduced to them because I felt like an idiot, and I had been riding barrel horses for a long time, but I felt like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. I had them up around everywhere. I'm surprised I didn't hang myself with them. But I have learned over the years that they have helped me. And like I said, this isn't just for a colt. This is for, I use them on my rodeo horses, you know, tuning them, just to ride them around, just to keep them correct. But I can do a lot of drills with my draw reins, and they're not fighting with me. Like they're moving forward. I can move her around and step her around with them. But if you notice, while I have these draw reins on her, her head is in the right position. It's leveled out. She's got her nose in the right position. She's not got her nose stuck out into outer space. And you know, every now and then a horse will kind of resist you, but it's only for like that split second, and you'll see them, you'll feel them get right back down into the position that you want them in. It's good for when you stop them. That mare never stuck her head up. She is correct, and everything is right there level. And this is what I want to duplicate when I'm running barrels. I want my horse's head to be level and her head in the right position so that I can control her better than if her head is stuck in the air and out of control. I think it's a feel on a lot of horses. I don't want to say use these every day or use these 3 times a day or a week. I think that you have to get the actual, like you have to know your horse and know how much of this that the horse needs. Sometimes you can get them like over bending down, and what I mean by that is just getting them to where they're just so broken and so backed off. And you don't want that either, but you kind of want that happy medium there. The draw reins are just a really good tool in helping me keep my horses tuned and keeping their head set correct.